so
He wouldn't.
Yeah, no. I would have kept it in because I'm weird. All right. Shall we begin? So, before we begin, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown on what the next. So, who here has played basically World of Warcraft or something similar to that?
I used to be addicted to World
How
of
many
Warcraft,
hundreds of
unfortunately.
days are you talking about here, Michael?
Yeah, you guys are all addicted to
I
that.
have not played since Thursday.
It's Thursday. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think you were talking about Guild Wars, which I'm jealous that you're playing Guild Wars, by the way.
I also did play Guild Wars, but no, I did play WoW on Thursday.
Nice. Okay, so one of the things about those types of games is it tends to be what is called a sandbox, which means, as most of you probably know, there isn't necessarily there's no forced linear progression to the story from here on out. So the Death House was essentially what I made it linear as I possibly could, without shoving you through the door to make you go to get to level 3. That's what it was, a linear story that you guys just followed through. From now on, it's basically sandbox. So whatever you guys choose to do, I have the general areas and all the characters for the most part remembered, but it's basically all side quests with one primary quest line that if you guys choose to follow it, great. If you don't choose to follow it, okay, I'm just going to improv wherever you guys go. So it's a very open side questy kind of realm now. Then that's not usual necessarily to Dungeons and Dragons. So whatever you guys want to do, whatever I tell you about the world and stuff like that, I'll just go off on whatever tangent or path that you guys choose. So
But what I'm hearing is the world is our oyster.
Yeah,
correct.
exactly.
Yes.
I like
What if I don't like sand because it's coarse and rough and irritating and it gets everywhere?
You'll be
I mean,
fine.
you've literally just described Barovia, except it's mist rather than sand. So
Gotcha. Okay.
you're playing a campaign that is, it's going to get
the sand is fine.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
There you go. The sand is fine, Anakin. So, with that being said, last time on The Curse of Strahd, strange and horrifying events have occurred to our unlikely group of adventurers that fate has called into the lands of Barovia. Kinyaa'áanii finds himself with memories far beyond his own earthly years, and is now beckoned west with the promise that his lost tribe may be made whole. Jax and Lunaris are themselves transformed, each in their own way, having barely survived the destruction of Durst Manor and the forces that have saved them as their new patrons. Grimbald finds his own body and mind unlocked with psychic powers that have laid dormant until now, burdened with questions and the knowledge that at least one soul is locked behind the puzzle of the Ashen Tome in his possession. And Zoltan Mordred III has come face to face with the Darklord of Barovia himself, Strahd von Zarovich, who appears to have saved his life and the life of some of his companions. Is the vampire of Barovia moved to some altruism for his newly discovered blood relation, or is his aims beyond such human sentiment? Mysteries abound, and the adventure continues. And so, the continuation.
I love how
Figure out what
entertained
Uncle
you are
Strahd
with yourself, Michael. After every monologue, you always chuckle to yourself.
It's like, I work really hard to make things as interesting and flourished as possible. What can I say?
I'm not arguing with you on that, no.
I am quite entertained with myself, I have to admit. And
you're a good storyteller.
Thank you. And so this is the new setup I have. I was finding it a little cluttered, trying to show you guys pictures and have your full bodies and stuff. So, I think this will work in the meantime. Actually, one more thing before we start.
So I don't get to see my 6 fingers anymore?
No, that was actually part of the reason why I went with it too. I wasn't going to mention it again. It was like, holy shit, you also have 2 fingers on your elbow? What the frick? Why did I not catch this? I'm such a detail-oriented person.
It looks less like fingers and more like something else on his elbow, though.
Yes. Yes, I agree. And hence why it was immediately cut from the... cut from
That's why I was an outcast.
You fixed him.
I fixed him. So, All right. So, Zoltan, Mordred III, Grimbald, Silentfoot, and Kinyaa'áanii. You stand on the embankment of what once remains the remains of Durst Manor. The scene before you, a haunting juxtaposition of destruction and eerie stillness. The once grand estate now lies in ruins, its roof torn away and walls crumbling, consumed by the abyssal power that dragged it downward. The air hangs heavy with mist, swirling around the remnants of the shattered manor, shrouding the area in an otherworldly gloom. The morning sun struggles to pierce through the dense cloud cover, casting a pale, muted light over the desolate landscape. The air is thick, and the acrid scent of smoke, remnants of the intense magical explosion that tore through the area. Charred debris and smoldering fragments are scattered across the ground, bearing witness to the destructive force that unfolded here. The crevice, a gaping wound in the earth's surface, stretches out before you, its depths concealed in shadow. The edges of the crevice are jagged and unstable, making the descent treacherous and the climb back up a daunting task, which you guys have just recently done. The ground around the embankment is cracked and uneven, bearing the scars of the cataclysmic event that unfolded the night before. As you survey the aftermath, a sense of eerie silence hangs in the air, broken only by the distant rustling of leaves and the occasional creak of broken timbers. The pervasive mists of Barovia encircle the area, wisps of fog swirling around the fallen structures, lending an ethereal and foreboding ambiance. The landscape that wants to stretch out before you is instead darkened by trees, their outlines blurred by the ever-present mists. Barovia's brooding atmosphere seems to press in all forms from all sides, enveloping your group in a sense of palpable unease. With the smoky air and the remnants of destruction around you, at your feet lay the unconscious forms of Lunaris Lenente and Jax of Candlekeep, and not far away are also the corpses of Gustav, Rosvalda, and Thornbolt Durst. What would you guys like to do?
I seem to remember last time you were saying that they are going to need, both Jax and Lunaris need a good amount of time longer to recover, like they need an extra night and a day or something. Is that right? Or am I imagining that?
What I'll say is they will need, for sure, at least 8 hours of rest. You guys are also in various states of harm. Some of your hit points are lost and everything, so you yourselves are probably pretty tired and stuff like that. But I won't go more than the 8-hour kind of necessary downtime that you guys need to regain all your hit points and all that type of stuff. So I'll say even after about an hour or two, Lunaris and Jax could probably wake up and stuff like that. So
okay, that's not as bad as I remember, because I thought we were planning on me heading to find a carriage or something to.
Yeah, I won't KO. Well, partly for just story's sake. It's like I'm not going to just like throw Jax and Lunaris out of the game for however long I want them unconscious, sort of thing. So
No.
I also wanted to show you, this is what you basically see is the remnants of Durst Manor. So Jax went a little Kamehameha on this area.
Yeah.
Just imagine
Sorry
purple
about
instead of red.
So you can imagine you guys
Orange.
went down about 40 or 50 feet into this crevice and kind of pulled them up on the other end. So just to clarify where you guys are, technically last session, which we can kind of retcon a little bit if you want, you guys were on the opposite side of where the Svalets Road was. And you went down, and then supposedly you brought Lunaris and Jax back up out of the crevice, but it was probably still on the side that you had that was away from the road.
Outside, I'll be right back.
Okay. Did you guys want to like stay on that side away from the road, or were you thinking to go on the side of the road? I'm just curious where you guys actually are.
Because we were in the midst of helping the kid and the girl and the boy
Mhm.
last time.
So Yeah, so basically what happened was you guys, the house kind of exploded. You each had kind of your own dream or solo kind of content. And then you woke up to find Zoltan and the corpses of the father and the two children at the campfire. And then you guys came back to come and see what happened to the house and found this big crevice, which you see here, sort of thing, with Jax and Lunaris unconscious. Lunaris in particular, all burnt to shit.
Okay.
But,
Okay, sorry about that. I'm back.
no, it's okay. So, yeah, so that's basically what had happened last time. So you have 3 corpses with you, essentially, and the unconscious bodies of, or unconscious, not bodies, sorry, unconscious forms of Jax and Lunaris. But yeah, if you guys, because technically the way you had described it was that you had brought them back up, but on the opposite side of where the road is. You don't have to get to the road this way. You could probably travel, obviously it'd be kind of along the forested edge to find the road. It would be a little bit more effort, I suppose, technically, to go back down and then up again, because it is kind of crazy. So, but yeah, that's the state of affairs currently.
I guess
Is it
when
worth... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, when Lunaris wakes up, I was just going to roleplay a bit. Did you have a question?
No, I was going to say, would it be helpful for us to set up camp here? I was going to ask whoever's awake at the moment.
We're not allowed to wake up yet, Lunaris, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing
we gotta do 8 hours of sleep, so we're not allowed to wake up yet.
Like, I mean, the rest is probably fine.
Yeah, I'm fine with you guys essentially waking up. Like, you guys have been trying. So here's the way I look at it: you guys dragged them up out of the crevice. It probably took you a couple of hours to do that. So I started you guys off.
Rest?
No, I was just saying that's how long it would have taken you. So you know, now that you guys are up, even though it was, I'm sure through the knocking around and finally getting them up, they're kind of in and out of consciousness. And after a while, I don't mind them waking up. You guys waking up and role playing and talking now. I'm not going to force you guys to shut up for the next however long you guys take. So
Okay.
that sounds mean.
But yeah, I'd say set up camp first, and while we're like recovering, Lunaris would be like, "Where's Jax? What happened to Jax? What happened to my arms?"
Yeah, Lunaris, you definitely have some crispy bacon for arms to some degree.
Crispy bacon.
Grimbald and Kinyaa'áanii, would one of you two be able to do watch for us, and I'll see if I can go hunt some game or something.
Yeah, I'll take
Better than
first
just
watch.
rations.
Sounds good.
Okay, I'll
Jax
equip
is
my
napping.
crossbow and head out.
That's good. All right. In that case, let me just do a couple of rolls here. And Zoltan, if you want to roll for
Yes.
survival.
For survival.
Speaking of which, I have my own dice now. I found them, finally.
Yay!
That's
They
right.
are
I saw that picture.
They are unremarkable in almost every way. They're plain looking. They're not very fancy. They're not what I would normally pick, but they are mine, and I know exactly how they roll. Which ones roll well, which ones roll poorly. This is my crappy low rolling dice. This is my good high rolling dice. So
what you've told us is you bought loaded dice.
Yeah.
no, I recognize patterns. So
So I think I actually get advantage on survival here, unless these are just saving throws here.
that's just when it comes to carpentry stuff.
Gotcha.
If I remember correctly.
No, because carpentry I do not have advantage on. Survival is wisdom, not dex.
Let me see here.
Yeah, so it says survival, advantage to track fey, fiends, or undead from Hunter's
Gotcha,
Bane.
that's what it was. Hunter's
That's
Bane.
Okay,
what
gotcha.
Zoltan's.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Weird, because it doesn't. When it just says advantage, doesn't when you mouse over that, it doesn't say anything there. Okay,
Probably
well
under
we're
your
going
class
hunter
features.
Yeah, I clicked on just looking at your sheet, I clicked on survival, and then on the right side, when it pulled up, it shows the A there. The
That's right.
adjustments.
Oh, okay.
What did you roll?
A4.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's part of the reason why it's so difficult anyway is a lot of the forest in this area has like been burnt. Animals have fled. You know, like you're lucky if you find a bird cawing right now in the area. So it is really quiet because of the destruction anyway, and so it would have been difficult regardless in this area. But
That makes sense.
yeah.
I will do one more lap around, kind of scouting the terrain as well, and then return to camp after this kind of scout routine.
Yep. So as you're scouting around, you find about maybe 100 yards, what would be to the north, along the crevice. You find that the forest is pretty undamaged for the most part. It didn't get hurt by the rain or anything, and the mists, the fog and the mists that are around here kind of keep the area quite moist. So what fires did get started up and everything like that were put out reasonably quickly or died
does
out on
this
themselves.
look like a better place to try to track some game for a meal?
Yeah, so the crevice basically
find
ends.
some animals that were already cooked by the fire.
Exactly. Barbecue.
Instead of Korean barbecue, it's Barovian barbecue. That's
Exactly.
good. Yeah, so I mean, you're certainly welcome to try.
Either that or just trying to forage some berries or something.
Sure. Yep.
That'll be a 14.
Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty slim pickings around the area. As you're kind of going along, you do notice that the crevice is stopped and that you realize you can kind of get around the area, the roads to the west from here. You can kind of find it pretty easily after a while. But no, you don't really find anything
Okay. No worries.
too crazy. Maybe a pool of murky water that you could potentially drink from if you were really needing some water.
I'm not very thirsty. Thank you. So I'll head back to camp to check in on everybody else.
Yeah, during your watch, it seems very eerily quiet. The mists have kind of rolled back in. It's not raining per se, but it's still quite damp and dismal. So, yeah.
So that was quite the ordeal there, eh?
Are you gonna like rest? Because I feel like Jax is probably not awake.
Good. Yeah.
I will take a rest whenever.
I need direction from you guys because I'm passed out. So you guys have to take some initiative here.
What would you guys like to do? Let's say for the next 8 to 10 hours, which is going to probably take for you guys to.
No, we've set up camp here, so I guess no food was found. We can survive on rations. It sucks, but that's fine.
Yep.
I think Kinyaa'áanii was on first watch. I don't know how long that kind of trek took. If he's still on first watch, then I'll try to get some rest. But if his watch is done, then I can take over.
Yeah, Kinyaa'áanii doesn't need as much sleep, so he'll need 4 hours. So he can kind of take a double shift if he wants, that sort of thing. So
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, I'll take it lay down then and wake up later.
Okay, sounds good. Grimbald, you're going to take last watch, or
I'm gonna be resting while Kinyaa'áanii's watching.
okay. Sounds good. Yeah. So I mean, you guys are able to rest up for the next 8 hours. There's really nothing that happens, whether people seem unconcerned with a forest fire nearby or, it frightened people off, or animals and different things off, that it seems very eerily peaceful. But there's always the sense of, am I being watched, or, is there something moving in the mist? It's kind of constantly fog rolling here and there, and dark, shadowy shapes from time to time. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty quiet. You guys are welcome to do your hit points back up to max at this point.
I'm just gonna press the long rest button.
Do it.
Oh, does that work?
I don't know.
You
So
hit
if
long
you-
rest, it gives you the option to set your hit points to max, and it resets everything else for you as well.
Yep. So you have to click the button that says take long rest, and then you have to click the confirm button. Otherwise, it doesn't go through.
Yeah, I think that's why I was not getting it correct last time.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep, and
And
that'll
so
refresh
that's-
all your spells and everything automatically. If you
That's
have
at the
any.
top bar there, where not too far from the anvil in the top right corner of your character sheet, if you have yet to find it. It's right in the far right center. Or right center. Cool. So yeah, it was about 8 o'clock when you guys rested up, so it's about 4 in the afternoon at this point.
Good morning, Lunaris and Jax. How was your adventure since last we saw you? Since last we saw you while you were conscious, at least.
Lunaris, are you okay?
I met a celestial being that helped contain whatever happened here, and through me, we brought Jax back.
Lunaris, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Oddly enough, it doesn't hurt.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I have my faith in the one named Evening Glory, and he has set me on a path to better myself, and in turn better all of us. We're meant for something great, and I will make sure that we will get there and that nothing will happen to us. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as you're looking at your wounds, a lot of it suddenly seems more superficial than you originally thought. Whether that is like your natural healing ability, or something or someone kind of helping your healing along. Yeah, it's mostly like you're just dirty. Like you guys are, have gone through some shit. A lot of your clothing and your armor is kind of a little bit more worse for wear, and stuff like that. Lunaris looks like the one who's taken the brunt of the damage here for sure. Your chainmail is blackened up to even past your arms. Some of your whatever you're wearing, your tabard or what have you on for your clothing over your armor is just pretty much in shambles and charred and stuff like that. And yeah, you could definitely use a good bath or something similar.
Does it look like the crusty parts on my arm? Do they flake off at all, or is it actually my skin is all crusty?
Yeah, it's yeah, I would say like a lot of it looks like more superficial. So as you're like kind of rubbing your hands and stuff like that, it's almost like charcoal kind of thing. There are still parts of your skin that are very tender. It's a little painful to kind of
Probably
move
my
your hands and
hands
stuff
were
like
the worst,
that in particular. Yeah. But a lot of your armor kind of saved a lot of your skin and everything like that too. So, but yeah. Jax, you notice a somewhat familiar figure floating around the area and finally come to alight on your shoulder. It is indeed a sort of ethereal raven who just sort of looks around silently. None of you see
Poe
this,
is
though.
still here.
Nobody else.
Only me. Only me.
Nobody else here sees this. Just you.
Okay. Okay.
But
is
you don't know that they
obvious
don't know
by
that.
their lack of reaction, or
Are you okay, Jax? Are you talking to yourself?
No, I'm asking Zell if it's obvious to me that they don't see Poe or.
Give me a insight check.
Okay.
Actually, everybody, give me a perception check.
Perception.
I got 16.
What did I?
13.
Okay.
17 plus 1 is 18.
Oh, and then you said perception. So I got 16 for insight and 21 for perception.
I got a 7.
Okay.
That sounds about right. Honestly.
You can't see
Grimble
that high.
can't help but sort of hold
I'm
his
just sitting
stomach
there
as it goes.
Grimbald had Taco Bell before our adventure, apparently.
Yeah, you guys, for the most part, are picking up that Jax is her eyes are following along. You also recognize that her, other than Grimbald, of course, that her, did we say right or left eye? I can't. I'll let you choose. I can't remember.
Let's go with the left eye.
Yeah, that her left eye is a different color than it was before. She usually has.
Jax?
Nice. She normally has two very bright emerald eyes, but her left eye seems to be sort of having an ethereal glow to it, quite similar to the constant purple and light blue flames that are alight on her body. They don't seem to do any damage, and they don't give off any heat or anything like that. But there's something very significant about her left eye that has changed. She also seems to be kind of, as you guys are kind of just watching her, she looks like she's off a little bit, like whether she's watching things strangely or just her entire demeanor is just a little off than usual. And so, Jax, eventually you kind of pick up on people kind of staring at you. They do seem to be looking at you, not anything else in particular. Grimbald is busy holding his stomach.
What are you guys looking at me for? Grim, are you okay?
What?
Are you good? Are you gassy?
I'm hungry. Where's the food?
Okay. Well, why are you guys looking at me? Stop looking at me.
Something seems off. I don't know what it is. You kind of seem to be distracted. You're kind of looking all over the place and shifty-eyed.
I mean, I just had some really crazy shit happen. I don't know. And I can't see myself, so I don't know what I look like, by the way. So.
There was a pool of murky water over there if you want to look in your reflection there.
What do you mean? Is there something on my face?
Here, in
Well,
fact,
maybe.
I have a mirror. I'm gonna take out the mirror
course.
from my bag and hand it over to Jax.
Okay.
Take a look.
Look in the mirror. What the fuck?
Yeah, your appearance is significantly changed from before.
You appear to have changed.
You also recognize that as you are looking in the mirror, the ethereal raven standing on your shoulder does not appear in the mirror.
All right, well, I'm not going to acknowledge that. Instead, I'm just going to look at myself like shocked. And how do I make these flames go away? I'm going to stand out. What the fuck?
You're ruining my chi, yo.
Yeah, I can't help you. That's out of my knowledge.
Well, sometimes we can't hide the true natures of ourselves, even when we want to.
Oh my god. People don't
So you
like
see what's
people
going on
like
with
this in
Jax?
this world, though. This is not going to be good. Fuck.
So, I'm gonna take my mirror back, and
gonna have
while
it
I was going through my bag, I take out a candle and put it against your hair and see if it lights fire.
Lunaris is doing science tests. Love it.
That's a great question, actually. I
That is a
believe
great question.
you have a particular resistance. So it does not appear to light right away. It sort of gets caught up in some of the strange flames that are going on in her hair, and it almost like it's kind of like going like this. No, get away from me! Get away from me! This is my flames. I don't want your flames. Get away! But eventually, if Jax doesn't move, a few strands will go up in flames.
Adam's internet cut out.
I kind of swat at Lunaris, like, stop it, get off of me. What are you doing?
Stop it, you're being bad. Stop it.
Oh, sorry about that. No, I was just kind of curious.
Guys,
What's going on, guys?
we need to find a town or something. I need a bath. I need some new clothes. I don't know how we're going to get in anywhere because they're not going to want me there. But I need a
We can
bath.
smuggle you in, I'm sure.
Oh,
There's a
as long
town
as we
over
just,
to the west.
Why
as
don't
long
we
as
just
we
go in
don't
the
go
lake?
into any like paper houses or anything like that, might be fine.
Very funny, Lunaris.
We'll find the Stone Tavern.
The Great Stone Tavern.
That's right, the Great Stone
No
Tavern.
taverns made of hay for me.
There, that's right. No
Yeah.
sleeping in barns anyway.
Exactly.
That's
Okay,
good. That's
let's go then. I guess we can pack up all our few belongings and head west, or head to the road first.
All right.
What about the bodies?
I guess I forgot about
Oh,
them.
Yeah,
Right.
we should burn them. That was the whole plan, right?
Were we going to burn them, or do we want to bury them?
I don't know. Well, you guys are the religious people. I don't know anything about that.
I don't know what happened with Miss Durst when the ground opened up. I believe her body may have been taken.
She deserves it
Did-
anyway.
Well, at least we got them out of the house, but did y'all try looking for it? Also, we lost Adam, I think.
yeah,
Adam's.
I saw that.
Mrs. Durst didn't deserve to be saved anyway, so
Alrighty then.
She didn't deserve the power that she sacrificed people for, but that doesn't mean that she didn't deserve saving.
I don't think she deserves saving.
As you guys recall, you don't really remember seeing another body down in the crevice anyway.
Well, let's find somewhere that looks nice-ish. And
Is it dark out or light out?
It's about 4 in the afternoon. So
Okay, so there's light. Can I do like a quick scan? Because I was the only one who kind of knows where I fell. Can I? Do I know or do I recognize? Probably not, huh?
I mean, you can
gaping hole.
see essentially where, you might have come from with help from the others.
Because I like the idea of burying the family together or burning them together, whatever the case.
Sure. Yeah, you can go ahead and give me a perception check.
Okay, I shall give it a try. 16 plus 1 is 17.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Like there's pieces of the manor that are strewn about. Welcome back. Yeah, pieces of the manor that are strewn about. There's still some charcoal and pieces, smoldering here and there. The smoke is still quite, present for the most part. But yeah, it's about think of it this way: it's about 100 yards long and 40 to 50 feet deep. So it would take a while to kind of not just survey the whole area, but based on where you kind of figure you fell in, it could have just been buried in a landslide for all you know. So
Exactly. All right, I'll mention that to them. Kind of say that I don't think we're gonna find it. It could be underground for all we know, with the destruction. So I believe that she was somewhat in this area. So as long as we keep the family in this area, I would imagine that they would find each other in the afterlife if they so desire.
well, let's get digging then. I'm pretty sure I have a shovel in my bag here somewhere.
Okie dokie.
So I'm happy to start digging at least one of the graves.
so you'll need at least 3. It does take a significant amount of time to dig a proper hole. It would be less, of course, because there's children. So I would say it's going to take you to probably dig 3 graves, even the 2 smaller ones, the better part of the night if you guys do it. I would say maybe 4 to 6 hours at least.
I don't have anything better to do. I don't know about you
Could
guys.
we not just burn them? Because I can do that very easily.
I'm sure you could.
Also, there's a high chance that Mrs. Durst is already on fire. So
Lunaris,
Okay.
do you know anything of their
I don't want to be
history of their religion around here or anything?
Say that again?
You know anything about their preferred burial practices around here? I don't know if being a paladin helps you with that at all.
Well, I know, like, before when I was thinking about it, that, like, to my knowledge, within the religion that I know, that we should be able to release their spirits through a funeral pyre, through combustion. That we don't need to bury them, so to say. But as far as the customs around here, I can't say. I mean, I guess, Zell, can I roll a religion
Yeah,
check?
go ahead and roll a
Just to-
religion check. Yep.
17 plus 1. 18.
Yeah. Without necessarily knowing the exact practices of the area, although you're pretty sure that I think I had mentioned before that the common deity that you had discovered in the area, and I'll say that you probably read it somewhere in one of the libraries, or in the library of
Yeah.
Mr. Durst, that the Morning Lord and Mother Night are the 2 deities that tend to be worshipped in this area. If it's
Okay.
not like a Dark Lord like Strahd or something like that. Based on those ones, the Morning Lord, to your knowledge, the rites of a funeral and the sort of prayers that go along with that tend to be the more important things than the practice of burial. The one thing that you would say, at least for this family, is that they did have a crypt or an undercroft or whatever to bury
Yeah.
their dead. So, like, that would be more of their tradition. But so far as your knowledge is from the religious aspect of it, making a funeral pyre and just laying them to rest with prayer and with the rites that kind of go with that should suffice to prevent them from becoming whatever, or like to free their spirits, essentially. You're pretty confident that either or would work.
Okay. Yep. I stick with what I said, and I mentioned that, yes, let's we can save time because I don't necessarily want to be traveling for too much of the night.
Yeah, well, I can build a pyre for them pretty quickly, I think.
yeah, you set it up and I'll light it up,
Perfect.
And I shall say the words.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys all kind of work together and kind of gather firewood that isn't currently already mostly charred and stuff, although that might help to start it. Yeah, you guys spend about an hour kind of building a decent pyre, and after about another 20-30 minutes, you guys are kind of sitting around with 3 bodies kind of on the stack of wood and brush that you've gathered, and it comes time for it to be lit and for the words to be spoken. What do you guys say? What do you say in particular, Lunaris?
Sorry, say that again?
What would you like to say? Like,
Oh.
There's no specifically, you don't have to say anything in particular, but what would it sound like for you to do the final rites of this?
Well, I guess I could probably say that we strolled upon this family when their needs were when they were in dire need, even if they didn't know or realize it. Over so much time of suffering, let their souls and bodies finally be at rest. And may they find happiness in the afterlife with each other.
Snaps.
Jax. And Jax, I assume you use your produce flame or whatever to light it up.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Alrighty, sounds good. As you guys are kind of, whether doing your own personal prayers or just acknowledging the events of the past couple nights, you happen to see on the other side of the crevice, say about 70 yards away from where you guys are, a figure that sort of comes out of the woods, probably closer around to where the road might have been. Give me a perception check, all of you.
7.
19.
13.
I'm getting good rolls. I have 19.
23.
It's my lucky dice.
Don't jinx it, Lunaris. Don't jinx it.
I know. I'm wasting the luck now. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Making it interesting for later.
Exactly.
So yeah, Kinyaa'áanii, you're kind of just on. You happen to be on the other side of the pyre, and you don't really see too much at first. Y'all kind of see a horse, basically it's a horseman of some kind, who looks armored. The horse looks armored as well. Grimbald, from your vantage point, whether it's because you just have a keener eye or you looked closer, you realize after a few moments that this solitary figure on the horse is actually skeletal in nature. And in fact, the horse itself looks like its flesh is long since decayed. It's just covered mostly in barding and everything like that. And the figure kind of clops to the crevice and seems to watch on the edge the fire that's being burnt at the moment.
Guys,
You
guys wanna do
thing
anything?
is very
Some
unnatural.
nice food. It looks tasty.
Well, I say we just keep our distance. I wouldn't do anything right now, but he seems to be doing his own thing over there too.
Yeah, so time seems to, stand still as after Lunaris has said the prayers and the rites. It takes about maybe half an hour for it to really consume the bones. They're pretty old, so they don't last very long. And after about 10-15 minutes, just as abruptly as the rider appeared, it begins to recede into the mist, their form fading away. Without uttering a word, it's just seems you just hear sort of the echo of hooves going in the forest, and they seem to just leave you alone.
Okay.
What the heck was that?
That was odd. A little bit unnerving. So, anybody want to get something in and have a real meal?
Yes, please. And a shower and some new clothes.
I don't know if they shower much around here, but sure you can get a wash basin or something.
Yeah, I'll find a lake somewhere.
Sounds good. So you guys, it's about 6 p.m. at this point by the time you guys are done. It's not quite dusk or anything like that, but you guys can certainly begin your journey along the road if you want. Whatever you want to do.
Let's get out of here.
I'd be up for it. Now, we're going around, right? We're not going back down and
No.
up to get to the road. We can just work our way
It'd
around.
definitely be more difficult to go across, yes. So might be good to.
Yep.
I mean, basically, Zoltan found a way essentially around the crevice. So,
Got it.
but yeah. Okay.
All right,
Well,
let's go.
Cool.
Let's go.
We're
Let's
in the
blow this
Mechanic
popsicle
Jams.
stand.
Wait for me.
Nighttime travels, not fun. How far is it to the town? You said it was like a day.
It's 9 hours. Last about 9 hours for you guys to get there. So you'll be
Alright.
arriving definitely
After
a
dark.
little. So I'm going to do some rolls. Excuse me for a second. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Let me see here. I like random stuff. It's always fun.
Me too.
Uh-huh.
Oh, interesting.
Interesting. Oh, interesting. Oh, I see.
All right. So you guys set out. You're about an hour into your. Actually, give me a second. High or low? Somebody say it.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you guys are, on your way down the. You find the Zvalets Road within 10 minutes of kind of going along. Yeah, you about an hour down the road. It starts to drizzle a little bit, getting a little bit rainy. And can you guys give me one more perception check, please?
Perception.
Not 20.
14.
10.
17.
$22.
All right. So, Zoltan, you're the first one to really notice not just the sounds of the forest kind of coming together, crickets and such, some birds here and there. It's very eerie. The rain kind of makes it a little muted to some degree. But what you notice right away, just almost like whether you passed a threshold or something like that, a solitary raven seems to be following you. Your initial impression was this might be Poe, except at one point it lights on a branch just as you guys are passing sort of the larger part of the canopy, and you realize that there's some of the feathers are like iridescent blue in some of the plumage along its head, essentially. But yes, for the next hour or two, this raven seems to just be following you. Obviously, those who rolled above a 15 will also eventually see this. Zoltan's just the first one who saw it.
I must be in front because I didn't notice. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Was there a default traveling order that we were doing?
I just assume you guys are doing what you had been doing before.
Yeah. Lunaris, Zoltan, Kinyaa'áanii, Jax, and then Grimbald.
Yeah.
Sorted by height.
I thought Kinyaa'áanii was the one who was kind of going ahead by 30
Yeah, I'm
feet.
pretty sure that's.
Oh,
if I
maybe
remember
that.
correctly.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
I remember
so
now.
kind of doing like a bit of a forward scout kind of
scout.
position.
Yeah.
Is that still what you'd like to do, Kinyaa'áanii?
Yes, I would like to behead.
And then I believe it was the rest of you side by side, essentially. Or no, it was Grimbald
I
and
was
Jax
off
in the
on
middle, Zoltan coming up the rear, or
That works. Yep.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
a
that's
little
how it
different from what we were doing inside the house.
right? Yes, yeah,
right.
yeah. Basically from session one, that's what you guys had originally said. So that's kind of what was my presumption.
Works for me.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Good.
Did you guys see that raven following us?
Yeah, that's really odd. Not sure what to think
Raven?
about that.
Yeah, look.
I just noticed.
Lunaris.
How long has that been following us? I've been focused on the road in front. So.
Probably an hour.
Should I shoot it down?
No.
Your belly kind of rumbles in a little bit protest. It's like,
It's not a normal
Can
raven,
I-
Grimbald.
It's not.
But I'm hungry.
Grimbald, you can't just eat everything.
Does-
Well, let's keep going, I guess. Not much else to do here.
Yes, let's do it.
We can just keep Raven.
Can I see if my spectral raven, who no one else can see, does it notice the other raven?
Yep. It seems to kind of be watching it now and again.
Can it interact with it?
How do you talk to this spectral raven eater?
I don't know. Can I?
I'm sure you can if you want to.
Okay.
What does that look like?
I guess it probably looks like me talking to myself, but I'm going to quietly and trying quietly and not necessarily sneakily, but like almost like I'm muttering under my breath. See if I can talk to my little raven friend and say, "Hey, what's up with the bird following us?"
Grimbald, what did you give her? Like, she's not looking super hot right now. She's talking to herself and everything.
Yeah, you guys probably don't overhear what she says, but
I'm just frustrated and tired, guys. I want to get somewhere that I can change. I'm tired of being dirty. I'm tired of everything.
Okay, that's fair. Do what you gotta
All
do.
it said on it was potion. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out if someone uses their nature skill to try and determine like if there's anything special about the raven, that's an option.
Oh, I've got nature. Can I do that?
sure can.
Okay. So I
I
just
mean,
rolled.
everybody has nature. Yeah.
I got at 11.
Yeah, I mean, other than the strange bluish iridescent plumage, doesn't seem to be, anything
I'm
too miraculous about.
I'm still asking my birdie then.
Yeah, so the spectral or ethereal raven on your shoulder kind of crooks its head, doesn't say anything. It'll kind of fly up and land next to the blue, the other raven, the real raven. It doesn't seem to react to the presence of the ethereal.
So like it can't see it.
Doesn't appear to.
Okay.
Just keeps watching you guys, and then after about an hour or two, just kind of appearing here and there from the canopy, you no longer see it. It seems to have gone after a while.
Okay.
Kinyaa'áanii,
Yes.
can you give me one more perception check, please?
Yep. Ah, yeah. 17.
Okie dokie. Let me see what I found. 17. Do. Okay, interesting. So as you're kind of going along the forest, you're kind of the forest scout, and you see a very slight path that goes off into the forest. Looks like somebody in the past day or two has gone in that direction. Would you like to do anything about it?
Yes, I would like to at least. I wonder what category would fit to try and evaluate what it is or what it could be.
Yeah, you could just do an investigation if you want.
Investigation. Yeah, that makes sense. Like always. 2.
2. Yeah, so you're kind of fumbling around and everything like that. It takes you a while going down the path. You guys end up kind of catching up to him. You eventually just can't see like how the path is going anywhere. It goes for only about 30 or 40 feet. You guys give me a perception check.
Everyone?
Yeah.
19.
13.
A lot of perception going on here.
19 plus 1.
9.
What you eventually realize, what Kinyaa'áanii's like really focused on the footprints and everything like that, and he's found the path and he knows what he's kind of doing, but he's just too focused on the ground. You guys happen to look up, a couple of you, and you recognize that there is a sort of a haversack of some sort, kind of soaking wet and everything like that, but it's hanging about 20 feet in a branch on one of the trees where the path sort of ends.
Is there anything out of the ordinary about it?
It just looks like it's a sack hanging in a tree.
Zoltan,
Want to cut it down?
show me up.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yes. I'll give him a leg up and see if Grimbald can climb up there.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage.
Oh, that was bad. 3.
Roll another one.
Yeah, you just keep on sliding off the bark for the most part. You got advantage. My apologies. You're right.
16.
Okay. Yeah. You kind of just hoist him up to the 10-foot branch or so, and Grimbald, you're able to kind of scamper up the tree pretty easily for the most part. Yeah, you're able to get the bundle down. Do you look inside before you drop down the tree, or you drop down the tree and then let everybody look at it?
Glitter bomb.
Yes, I love that video. If you guys haven't seen that video,
They're so good.
so good.
I just drop it down because it's going to be hard for me to open it and hold on at the same time.
Sounds good. Okay. Yeah, so it kind of lands with a thud. Sounds a little wet, but nothing too bomb-like of the glitter type. And yeah, I'll say you're able to kind of get out of the tree, Grimbald, no problem.
Okay. You guys want me to open this?
Do it.
Jax kind of slowly backs away just in case.
Jax, nothing's going to happen. It's clearly safe. It's a sack.
You don't know what's in there.
You don't know
All right.
what's out of there.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, so you find inside actually a set of clothes. They're pretty plain, commoners-looking clothes. You're not too sure why it would be hanging in a tree or anything like that, but yeah, it just looks like a regular set of clothes. I will say it is. The dice say it is a woman's set of clothes. So pretty standard looking.
Just clothes.
It's cleaner than my clothes.
It is much
Here.
cleaner than your clothes.
Can I wear those?
If you want to.
Sure, Jax. Here you go. It's worthless anyways.
Can I what would I need to do to just make sure that there's like nothing on the clothes? What would that be?
You can do an investigation check if you want.
Investigation? Okay. I don't want to put something on and it have like itching powder, you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
I got an 18.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look anything special. The stitching looks pretty standard. It's, maybe, a little more coarse than you're used to, but yeah, they're just basic commoner's clothes.
Okay.
They don't stand out. They don't flash by any means, and no, they don't explode with itchy powder. So
Excellent. Lunaris, will you cover me while I change, please?
Yes, sure.
With
Okay.
those clothes being,
I go and walk and spin around so that my back is facing her.
Make sure Grimbald isn't looking.
Eyes on you, pointing the eyes towards Grimbald. I see you there.
All right,
right.
I'm changing into cleaner clothes.
yeah, despite their style and everything like that, just even having like a new set of clothes on that aren't just absolutely trashed from blood and cuts and fire and just practical soiling yourself for all the crazy stuff over the past day, you feel a little bit more normal than before. But yeah, they are, like you said, they aren't flashy by any means. So, did you?
It's all good. I can get nicer clothes later.
I think we lost Grimble
might
for a
be
second there.
helpful.
Oh no, it was Tipsy.
No, Tipsy's still here.
Oh, I thought Tipsy
No,
left.
These plain clothes might help you to blend in more with that fiery hair.
Is there a
Maybe.
hood on? Is there like a cloak on these clothes, like a hood?
Survey says no.
Oh, all right. All right.
Alrighty. Yeah, so I mean that's all you really find in this area. So
Well,
Let's keep moving.
and I'm looking for this one. Good old
Grim
traveling
left the
by
chat
night.
for a second just so that way he wouldn't be tempted to look. That's all it was.
Nice. I like it. I like it.
Sorry about that. Lightning just
All
got
good.
there and it knocked out power.
Oh, the lightning was ensuring that you weren't looking at me changing clothes.
Ah, damn lightning. I miss all the good stuff. I'll just put my head in this sack.
Oh, Zal, I wanted to bring up too. Did we get any gold or anything like that? I wasn't sure. If
I tried to
what the
steal some.
plans- Well, I know you tried, but
Um,
I just wasn't sure what the adventuring rules you have set in place for that is. Like if we're heading
whatever
to
you
town.
guys, whatever you guys find in the houses and the places that you search, that's what you get. There's nothing, no rewards or anything random.
Okie dokie.
Yep. So, you guys did pick up a bunch of stuff in the house that, at least Jax knows a few things are magical in nature. She doesn't know what they are, or an identify spell or some deep study would require really learning what they are. But I think you guys know. Did I tell you guys what the potions were?
No, I
Healing
just have
the healing one.
red. Whatever it was,
Yeah.
red, whatever.
I think I
fixed
told you guys
this.
about the healing potions at some point.
Yeah, you did.
We got the healing
Jax, I think,
potion.
used one.
I did.
Yes.
Grimbald had one, and who had the
No,
other
I
one?
gave
Zoltan, probably?
I
don't-
gave them out.
I
You
don't
guys
I
had them.
believe I said that the blue ones were healing, correct?
Yes.
Yes,
And
right.
the red
I
one we
have the
don't know.
Red one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
Zoltan and Key both had one, but
Okay.
Grim didn't take one.
That's right.
No, I have the
Yeah.
red one.
And neither did I.
yeah.
know. Oh, potion of
Okie
healing.
doke.
Let's see here.
So yes.
At least I think I did.
I'm pretty sure I didn't tell you what the red one did. So
No,
No, you
you
didn't.
did not.
yes.
just-
So
Flask of red liquid.
okay, just making sure. But yes, I believe you also have a hat that Jax is kind of carrying around with him.
Yep.
There is... I don't remember all the other stuff that I told you about.
Let me see. I have a wizard's book.
Right.
I have
Silver coin, a quill, letter from a dead colleague.
a
silk
cloak
top
of many
hat.
fashions. Oh,
Is that what I... That's
I don't
not
remember if
what
that
the
came from the
cloak
house or
is.
if that's something I already had.
Yeah, so
I don't know.
you
I'm
do
just
have a
looking through my
cloak.
backpack, so
You do have a magical cloak, but it's not that. That's not what it is specifically.
no.
No, I don't think I told
Oh.
you what it was.
Cool.
I have a crystal ball.
That's right.
Oh, and I found something too, didn't I?
You've got it. You've got the book.
No, the adventuring gear or something
Oh,
towards that we picked up, and I used it. I think.
I've got some letters, scrolls.
Yeah, we weren't.
Yeah, you had
super thorough
you had
in
gotten
that.
new thieves' tools. That's what Grimbald had grabbed.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't know.
So you got to yeah. So anyway, so in terms of treasure and stuff like that, you guys aren't going to be rewarded unless you have a particular contract or you pick something up or find it in a chest or something like that. So
Okie dokie.
yeah, nothing.
Yeah, we didn't
nothing,
really
nothing.
want to steal or take too much from that place because we were being judged and watched.
Yeah, you guys did leave a significant
Yeah.
amount behind. So
Oh yeah.
which is fine. I mean, it wasn't a terrible idea. I appreciated. Thorn appreciated the most that you were trying to make an effort. So it did go some ways. But yeah, I'll say that you have for sure the wizard's book, some spell scrolls. You have cloak and a silk top hat. Those are the main magical items that I remember, and the potions, of course.
Alrighty.
But yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Onward.
So it's about let me think here. So you guys left at 6. About 2 in the morning. When it is unmistakable that the sounds of the night have kind of died off. And the rain starts to pick up. And it becomes all the more miserable as you crawl through the night. However, what is nice about this journey is another signpost eventually comes up and somewhat of a clearing. It's still very foggy and the rain's kind of keeping it dour, but in the distance you see a darkly shadowed town not too far away. You figure it'll probably be another hour or so before you get there. It will definitely be very, very early in the morning once you do get there, though. So.
Did someone ask for bathing? We got some nice rain water right here. Start scrubbing.
I'm wondering if it's raining so hard, is there steam coming off of me?
No, your flames don't seem to necessarily interact with the physical world, from what you can tell. It seems like they're almost like half in and half out of this reality as you sort of, at one point, like some of them lick up your arms and stuff like that, and you can kind of mess around with it to some degree, and it just doesn't seem like they're all that real. It's almost like they're coming from some other place.
But I can play with them to entertain myself as we walk.
Yeah, to some degree, you can even like exert your own will upon them eventually. Like if you want to make them glow a little brighter, or you're kind of messing around with it. It's primarily aesthetic, but it is, no matter how hard you try, you cannot extinguish them.
Oh, that looks like a nice place to rest. Let's keep going.
We're almost there.
Okay, yep. Keep trudging.
Okay. Sounds good, sounds good. I need to change one last thing here. Yeah, so the rain starts to pick up. You notice how extremely quiet it has gotten. It's a little more eerie. The fog has rolled in. The darkness seems to deepen. There are definitely no stars out tonight. And so it requires either your guys' magical light or a lantern or something like that to keep the path relatively illuminated. It seems like it's not traveled very much, so it's got pools of water and, branches fallen down here and there, so it's a little slower going than you'd like, but it's definitely miserable. Go ahead and give me a perception check, Kinyaa'áanii.
22.
Right. You notice after a while the sounds of the forest and the rain kind of picking up. The sounds of the forest kind of cutting off is the first thing that really alerts you that there's something wrong. You're kind of scanning around, and it takes you a few minutes to pick out exactly what's going on, but you realize that there are several sets of eyes that are off in the distance along the forest path. And you can tell there are at least 3, possibly 4 sets of eyes that have been shadowing you. You're pretty certain, based on how long it's been quiet in the area and stuff like that, that they've been around for a good 10-15 minutes, and only now are you kind of perceiving it. You are 30 feet in front of the group, but yes. What would you like to do?
Oh, a bunch of eyes. I think I would like.
No,
I think I would like to go into stealth mode.
Okay, sure, sounds good.
So I'm going to roll a stealth real quick. Okay, 21. That's nice.
All right. You, I think you actually even get advantage on that. So if you want to do one more.
Okay, let's do that. All right, 11.
Okay, no worries. All right. So yeah, you kind of tuck yourself kind of to the side of the path. The mist and the fog make it very easy for you to just sort of will yourself practically to be hidden. You have to pick your path a little bit carefully. The rain and the brush and everything like that, but you've done this 101 times in the jungle before, and this is a jungle of a different type, but nevertheless still something you're used to. Where would you like to go, or what would you like to do as you're being stealthed?
Yeah, I would like to, either or, I would like to notify everybody, because I'm significantly farther, but I'd like to give them a signal that there is something ahead, or something. I'm basically stay put until I investigate.
Is that like with that? You guys can come up with like what that would have looked like if you.
Do we have a special whistle? Is there a special whistle?
Exactly.
It's more like a concerned look or a concerned hand gesture.
He goes.
Like,
You want one bell?
So yeah, so the thing that tips you guys off the most is that Kinyaa'áanii basically vanishes from view, and he sort of puts his hand up as he does so, and that alerts you all that something is awry in the area. Go ahead and give me a perception check, all of you.
11.
6.
9.
9.
22.
All right. You guys are searching left and right, up and down. You're not seeing jack shit. Kinyaa'áanii, however, as you are sort of hiding, do you go any further forward, back? Do you stick around the area, just kind of hiding, or?
No, I will slowly make my way towards the eyes as close as I can.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So after a while, like you're kind of picking your way through, you see a set of eyes kind of peel off to the left, further away from you. But as you kind of get closer to the other two sets, they don't appear to see you. You've successfully hidden quite well. What you see is a little sketchy and a little scary. You yourself have fought in wolves or similar creatures before, but these ones in front of you are huge. They are about the size of a pony, if not a full stallion horse. They are crouched down, slinking around. You happen to pick up just where they are. There's two back and to the right of where your position is, essentially down the side of the path. They look like they're sort of stalking your friends. They've lost sight of you. It looks like the two that went and peeled off to the what would be the north. They're probably trying to find you. They seem to have lost sight of you and everything, so they're kind of trying to figure out where you are. But yeah, what you see before you is known as dire wolves.
Adam, I just wanted to mention, do you have your D&D Beyond character sheet up at the moment?
I do.
Go ahead and click the long rest button at the top.
Long rest button.
You got him for Jax.
And
then click the button that says take long rest, and then immediately click it again when it says confirm.
confirm.
Just so you can get your health and your rage back.
Good one.
Oh, that's all I had. Direwolves.
All right. So basically, what I'm going to do is, since I realize that they are direwolves, I will sneak back to see the gang to alert them what
Sounds
I
good.
saw.
Sounds good.
So everybody, let me try here. Everybody saw some direwolves in the distance. Prepare yourselves.
Wow, direwolves, I don't know if I want to mess with those. I ran into them earlier, and I mean, do you think we might even be able to sneak around them or get around them? That's scary.
We could just hide in the trees over here in hopes they go away.
I will take my crossbow and knock an arrow or knock a bolt into it rather than drawing my scimitars. I'd rather stay further away as possible.
Do I know anything about dire wolves?
Those guys. Anybody who has nature can go ahead and roll a nature roll for me.
17.
4.
13.
We don't have these kind of direwolves in the jungle.
I've done a lot of reading, so...
You know that they are fairly similar to wolves, except they're clearly a lot larger. They are still usually, from your knowledge, animal in nature. They hunt in packs. This one, they usually do pack-based tactics. They can They have very large teeth and very sharp claws, which they can attack you with. But yeah, other
Do they
than
have any
that-
weaknesses that I know of?
No, not really. I mean, they're certainly tough opponents in general. You think that your group would have a tough time with 4, but it's still quite possible to defeat 4 of them. It's kind of, it's a risky move. Now that you know that where they are and they don't have an advantage in, keep getting you unawares, you seem to be relatively evenly matched, I suppose you could say. But they are bloody tough, nevertheless. So. Oh, yes. They also, you rolled 17, you said?
Yes.
You do know that they have a bit more of a natural armor. Their hide is really tough. And so where normal wolves, you can kind of pierce them and slash them quite easily. These ones, though you can obviously still pierce and slash them, they tend to be able to shrug things off a little bit easier than...
No fear of fire by chance. No.
no more than another wolf. Yeah. So
Okay.
they're still essentially just big badass wolves. So think Twilight, those wolves, the werewolves, when they're like those big furry ones. Yeah. That's
I've never
basically the
seen
size.
Twilight.
Oh,
so
fair enough. No, that's fine.
I know dire wolves from Game of Thrones. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean that's still about the same size. Yep. So I mean they're still quite large. Yeah. So.
So what are we gonna do?
You just see this wood elf materialize beside you, even though you guys are looking around. None of you rolled high enough to even see Kinyaa'áanii, let alone these wolves. So.
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to mess with them.
I'm hiding in the bush.
If they don't know we're here,
Shoot 'em!
I wouldn't mind hiding or trying to go around.
Climb the trees.
No, never the trees.
I tried climbing the tree. I don't think it necessarily helped. Back when I ran into one before.
All right. Well, Grimbald, you go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. You will have to do it at disadvantage, though.
Okay.
Should we try and sneak by them?
That would be
19.
risky.
Well, with the sound of the rain, I don't know if it'll mask the sound of my chainmail or plink plink even louder.
So we might just want to. We don't want to run because that will attract even more attention. But
Exactly.
if we stand tall, make ourselves look large, and maybe, walk together, we might stand a chance if they decide to attack.
We don't need to run faster than them. We just need to run faster than Grimbald after we trip him, right?
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, Zoltan. We can't trip our friend.
I've already had
Zoltan.
Remember when I said that you had an alignment change? I might reverse that that choice after that comment. No, I'm just kidding.
Adam,
So, Michael,
I
if you
just
couldn't
want
tell, when I yell
ahead.
shoot, I'm the same character in this as I am when we play Warzone.
Sounds about right. Sorry, what were you saying?
I wanted to remind Adam. I don't know if we could use it in this situation, but Adam has Talk with Animals as a ritual spell, so he has to spend 10 minutes to cast it. But yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah, that is certainly something you can do. It seems like I would say that Shanna's probably pretty accurate. If you guys at least bolster your guys' strength, and reveal that you know that they're there kind of thing, it's as good a tactic as any, I suppose.
Maybe we should do the haka. You guys know that?
a haka dance.
Yeah, the haka dance. Would that scare them off?
I don't even know what that is.
It's like a war dance that the Maori warriors did.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yep.
They do it a lot.
I mean, it's not just for war, but it's quite an intimidating looking dance for sure.
You guys can go ahead and attempt to intimidate them, or to yell, or show a sign of force, or it's certainly a reasonable.
Who's got our highest charisma? That would help for intimidation rolls. Yeah, and I think because we're all doing this, you should get advantage on that for us helping you.
I don't think. So, my knowledge of wolves in general, I don't think we want to do anything that makes us necessarily seem like we're going to attack them, because that will make them defend themselves.
For sure.
We just want to not be a threat to them and not be something they want to attack.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I would say, as most creatures, if you act weak, then they're probably going to, if they're predators, just want to pick you off.
Yeah, that's good.
If you act aggressive, then they will try to defend themselves. But as long as the likelihood of success of just showing that you're aware of them and that you're not going to be easy pickings, that they can just take one of the little weak one and then go gnaw on him and let you guys keep chasing and stuff like that. That's what a general pack would do, is try and take out the weak or the infirm or the slow. So
Grimbald on someone's shoulder. Got it.
So yeah.
Oh, I don't mind that idea. Something I'd be willing to do. It might be more successful than me attempting to sneak.
So I know Kinyaa'áanii has intimidation as is one of his things.
Yeah.
If you guys are all helping, then he can get advantage on intimidation to see if that will, at least, not necessarily in a threatening way, but like say, hey, we're here, we know about you, that kind of thing.
That works for me.
All right.
Cool.
Intimidation it is.
Sounds good. Did you want to use your speak with animals as well, so that you can kind of translate?
Yes. Yes. I
So
would like
we'd
to-
have to stick around for 10 minutes for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's,
you can do that.
yeah. I would say that Adam's still kind of keeping tabs on them. The other two wolves have kind of moved to the other side of the path, so you have two on one side and two on the other side of the path, but they don't seem to be advancing quite yet. They also don't see you, Kinyaa'áanii, at this particular moment, so you have some time to do your ritual, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I would like to basically hone in into any animals that are, or anything that's around, and maybe they're telling me something, or maybe be telling me that we should actually retreat because they are familiar with these dire wolves. So that's what I'll be doing.
Sounds good. So let's do. So you take about 10 minutes to do your thing. What do the rest of you do? Are you guys just kind of split up? Are you guys kind of huddled together? Or are you guys
I think we
looking-
should stand back to back, looking around.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
Sounds
let's do it.
Continue to have my crossbow drawn.
As Kinyaa'áanii sort of is doing his ritual, he kind of points out surreptitiously where these are, and you finally can pick out the pairs of eyes. You kind of know generally where your enemies are. Finally, Kinyaa'áanii, your spell casting kind of goes through. You have this beast sense, this ability to speak. You have this ability to speak with animals. Go ahead and give me a perception check one more time.
Okay, perception check. 11.
Okay. You can kind of hear what amounts to a conversation. What it really ends up being is you're able to interpret and understand what body language and what the wolves are essentially saying to one another. They've stayed put. They're sort of hunkered down. They look, the one that seems to be the leader of the pack is kind of muttering or kind of somber and annoyed that they appear to have been seen, sort of going to his buddy and says, we'll attack the small one if they leave him behind, but for now let's just wait them out. And that's basically what you hear. What would you like to say or do?
Good plan.
Well, I would definitely like to say, are they friend or foe, or are they like kind of,
What would you say if this was a real life situation, your character, what would you say to these animals as we're trying to get by, Adam?
And we're trying to avoid them attacking us, essentially. We come in peace.
Yeah, we come in peace. We wish to pass something,
We mean no harm.
I mean, because the point of having intimidation, it's like, yeah, they are some strong dire wolves, and we are strong people as well. So I don't want it to be like we're submissive in a way, but could also be.
But you don't want them to know you're not here to harm them, though.
But we don't know they want to harm us.
Yeah. That's why you're trying to communicate with them, Adam.
Can just be like, hello.
Sure. Are you saying this in sort of a neutral way? Are you sort of announcing your presence loudly? That kind of thing?
I'm going to be pretty loud, just so they all can hear me.
Oh, sounds good.
They
as soon
know
as
you
you
speak wolf.
Yeah, as soon as you sort of speak loudly, they kind of raise from their positions and they sort of circle a little bit more. They don't necessarily... The body language isn't telling you, like, we're going to attack. They're more, like, curious about what your intentions. They know the jig is up, and so they are clearly, showing themselves and posturing, like... It's like... So you can interpret their language at this point. What they're saying is, sup? Oh yeah, you're gonna do something? What are you gonna do about it? Kind of like a gang of hoodlums almost. Sizing you up. This is my territory. What you doing here? Kind of thing. That's sort of the atmosphere you're getting here. So. How would you respond to the gang of wolves?
I would like to respond. Are we going to have a problem here?
Okay, sounds good. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check with advantage.
Okay, intimidation. $11.
All right, one more time.
A 9er.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so you kind of step back to back with your friends, with your companions, and sort of ask whether or not there's going to be some sort of conflict. 3 of them seem to pause at this and look to their leader. The leader sort of steps forward and realizes that he can understand you, and he's and that you seem to understand him. It's like he essentially says in his own way, "You seem wiser in the ways of the forest than these others with you. What are you doing in our territory? Our lord does not necessarily like visitors, and we are hungry.
Oh. Well, with that said, we are trying to pass on through to our other destination, and we ourselves are very hungry as well. Just to kind of make kind of touche of like, we're hungry too.
I like that. No, that's good. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
A 1.
Okay, still, it's not a critical one, so he kind of laughs. He takes it in good nature more than derision. He laughs that you are hungry. He's like, can your small frame be as hungry as our own mighty forms? He kind of shows a wicked set of teeth and kind of growls meanly at you. This sort of sets the other ones a bit more on edge. They take a few steps closer to you. But
yeah, I can definitely handle a big feast because I'm in the forest, and sometimes I get a craving for some direwolf thighs.
I love it. Go ahead and give me an intimidation check.
Dire wolf thighs, eh?
I like it. Yeah, get some dire haunch.
13.
Let's see here. Yeah, same sort of dynamic. The other three kind of back up. Their body language and what they're kind of saying is like, look, this was only supposed to be, an easy pick and, are we sure we want to mess with all of them? They do have strange magics and clearly they're armored. The other one sort of, he looks like he's more entertained by your threat and your posturing. The other ones are really taking you more seriously. But yeah, this larger wolf takes one more step, just sort of as I'm sure you've feasted on many beings, but I don't believe for a second that you've tangled with one such as I.
Oh.
He looks at his companions and then sort of nods to them, which you kind of interpret as, let's get out of here. I understand you guys are skittish and it's not worth it, kind of thing. It's like, and he'll kind of sort of gallop towards you and then break off right at the last second within about 10 feet and say, watch yourself, little elfling. It's been a while since I've tasted one of your own. And then he just gallops into the forest.
And to the rest of us, that conversation sounded like a woo, 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 woo.
To some degree, that's pretty much what it was.
And I mimicked to them when they are speeding off. I said, I guess
exactly.
I guess you don't want to find out today.
You hear a large set of howls that make all of you sort of shrivel inside yourselves a little bit, because you came pretty close, from what you can tell, to going toe-to-toe with this small pack of dire wolves. But yeah, so far as you can tell, Kinyaa'áanii is the wolf whisperer here, and sent them off. Well played.
Well played.
All right. So let's
keep moving then?
Let's keep moving.
All right. Grimbald just needed to go AFK for a bit, so he need to go fix something. Just FYI. All right. This exchange takes the better part of an hour to kind of play out, and it's a little bit more involved than that. the rolls weren't high enough for you to just kind of, get out of there type of thing. So you guys get a pretty soaking wet at this point. The rain begins to let up though as you begin your journey, and the forest seems to come back to life a little bit. And yeah, it isn't long before the shadow of dawn begins to creep its way towards you. It's not quite dawn yet, but yeah, you guys find yourselves coming upon the village of Barovia. And we will go ahead, just because Grimbald's not here for a second anyway. Might as well take a quick break. And yeah.
Sounds good.
Reconvene in 10 minutes-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, good.
Cool. Good job. That was good. That was a good job, Adam. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was great.